Right. There you are. Tortuous, tortious. It's 6:38. All right. Now, before we get into the headlines this morning, we've received some rather disturbing news. Okay, we've seen a police report filed by the CEO of WebSoft Solutions, Godwin Marty. Now, he is alleging that Asamoah Gyan and his brother Bafo Gyan assaulted him last night. He says he recorded a part of the exchange. Here it is.
You are trying to create an impression here. Before the game, we started making excuses.
But for your, why will you say you will slap me?
I would. You see? That's
no, but he said so, and he even hit me now. He has hit me.
You deserve it.
Wow.
Wow.
No problem.
Take me to the radio station. Now it's so alone.
Right. We'll have to apologize for the language there. This is yeah. So this is part of an exchange that happened, allegedly between the CEO of WebSoft Solutions, Godwin Marty, and the Gyan brothers, famous footballing Gyan brothers, Asamoah Gyan and Bafo Gyan. This happened last night. Now, we have Godwin Marty of WebSoft Solutions on the line right now. Let's see if we can find out a little bit more about what happened. Mr. Marty, good morning. Thank you for your time.
Good morning, Kojo Yankson, and thanks to your listeners.
What exactly happened and where? Where did this incident occur?
Okay, so this happened last night at 37 Army Officers Mess tennis court. It was my first time of ever playing there. I typically play at Sakumona Tennis Court, but we are doing some renovations, so I thought I've heard a lot of good things about Air Force Mess 37 tennis court. So I wanted to go and try their court. I learned their court is very good, so I want to go and play there. So I just visited there as a guest, and we do that in the tennis fraternity. You are allowed to visit other courts once in a while to play. So when I got there, they have a double-sided courts. So I was playing doubles with a few people I met there. We went very nicely. Then there's a certain lady who knew me from Sakumono Tennis Court called Veronica. She's a lawyer. She's also a tennis player. So she saw me there. And this was just a coincidence out of serendipity. We didn't plan it. Then she said, Asamoah Gyan is around. Like, she will want me to play Asamoah Gyan. Then I said, okay, fine. When I'm done playing the doubles, I don't mind. I can come and have a game with him. So when I finished my doubles, we started the singles game with Asamoah Gyan. The first thing I observed was that it was like an ambushment. Like they had already planned that whenever they meet me, they will let me play Asamoah Gyan, because the lady actually said that she had already spoken to them several times that she want them to meet me and play me. But I didn't know all this because she never spoke to me and didn't have a number. We never had this conversation. I just went there out of my own volition, and then by coincidence it happened that she was there and now Asamoah Gyan was there. So, the game started. And then it dawned on me that Bafo Gyan was actually the umpire. The umpire in tennis is like the referee. So there were a lot of points that were, in tennis you can have controversial points. Maybe a ball lands on the line and some will call it in, some will call it out. So even in professional tennis, they have a technology called the hawk eye that they use to show you the three-dimensional direction of the ball so that you'll be sure whether it's actually in or out. So most of those controversial balls that were in my favor, Bafo Gyan was giving the points to Asamoah Gyan. At a point, I became a bit uncomfortable with it. So there was a particular point that to me was very obvious that the ball was good. Bafo Gyan insisted that the point was for Asamoah Gyan. I said, okay, I would like to reserve the point for fairness sake, because everybody who was there, their gestures suggested that they also agreed with me, but because it was Bafo Gyan as the umpire and playing Asamoah Gyan, nobody was able to support me, and I'm new there, nobody knew me. So it became something that Bafo Gyan was insisting that I should play. Then I said, okay, you know what? I would like us to prepare. If you want us to play a proper match, like a tournament or something, I don't mind. But I didn't plan for this. This is a social tennis. I just came to test this court because I've never played here. I'm a guest here, and it's my first time. So let's arrange a proper match. Then I'll come. Maybe we'll have a match commissioner. We'll have a neutral umpire. Then we can play a good game. Then Bafojan shouted from the umpire chair that, my friend, shut up and stand there and play. Shut up and play. In a very aggressive tone. I was surprised because I wasn't even speaking out of any tone of provocation. I was just making my point clear that I would like us to have a proper match. Then he continued to shout. So I told him that the way he's shouting is intimidating me, and I will lose focus even if I have to play. And tennis is a game of focus. So you know what? I will not play again. Let me just kindly, respectfully sit down. Then next time we can play a game. Then I sat down. He was insisting I should go stand there and play. Then he came down from the upper chair and came to hit me. That my friend, go there. I said, go there, go and play. He was hitting me to go and play. Well, everything was like a movie to me. I was so surprised. Then as he was hitting me, Asamoah now came. He was hitting me and people came to hold Bafo that my friend stopped, that he should not hit me. They were trying to push him away. Then Asamoah came. Before Asamoah came, actually, I was telling him that the way you are hitting me, I'll report this to the police. He said, you can go anywhere. I don't care. If you like, go to the police. They can't do anything. In this country, they can't do anything. He was just bragging and talking. Then when he moved away a bit because people were holding him and dragging him away, Asamoah came by because he was my opponent. He also came in support of what Bafo was already doing, assaulting me. Then I was even telling him, if you listen to the audio, I have the full audio, because somehow I got the wisdom to quickly start recording, because I was actually under threat. I was very, very afraid because nobody knew me there, and it looked like nobody was able to challenge them. It appeared to me that they were like the lords of that court. Everybody was intimidated. So I was alone, and anything could happen. So I can't go Facebook Live because they will see it, obviously, and they may even collect the phone and smash it and beat me more. So I just found a slight opportunity to quickly go on my phone, quickly went to my call recorder app and started recording. So they didn't know that I was recording. But it was a public situation. Everybody was there and there was chaos. Then Asamoah came and I was telling him that, you see, Bafo just came and slapped me and beat me. He said, you deserve it. And if you do, he will beat you more. You deserve it. He went on and on like that. And it was a mess. I was shocked. Bafo now came back again, that if I talk again, he will beat me again. I have the recording. I didn't want this issue to be, I understand the issue of evidence. I didn't want it to be your word against my word. It's an assault. Nobody will add an evidence. No. So I have the record there for any objective discerning person to examine the evidence. They don't even have to believe my story. Just listen to the narration by yourself in the audio and draw your judgment. Because as they were hitting me, you can even hear the impact in the voice, in the recording. You can hear the impact of how they were hitting me. So anyway, at the end of the day, the Veronica lady felt so embarrassed because she's the one who, as it were, told me to play Asamoah. She felt so bad about it. And she's a lawyer. And I even asked her in the audio, you are a lawyer. Do you think what is happening here is right? There was no reason for this. They were hitting me, beating me up, shouting on me just with the intention to cause harm, pain, and fear, and cause annoyance on me and to excite me to anger. But somehow, very unusual of me, I was rather very calm because I realized that the environment was very threatening. I didn't want to fight back and get killed or injured or anything. So I rather played the other opposite. I refused to allow them to incite my emotions and cause me to do anything in retaliation or self-defense. So I decided to just take the pain and kept quiet. And Veronica kept apologizing to me that it's okay, she's sorry and all that. I said, fine, no problem. Then I sat in my car and then I couldn't drive. I was confused, to be honest. I drove to a point and I parked. Everything was like, we were happening too fast. I didn't see why this became an issue of beating me and slapping me and hitting me and telling me that you beat me more if I talk again. Well, as I go home, I managed to drive and go home, and I spoke to a lawyer, my lawyer, and he advised I should go and report it. So I went back to Cantonment Police Station. In fact, I just came back. See, the whole night, I had to go there, do a report. I went for medical report at the police, Cantonment Police Trust Hospital, and finished and came back to the Cantonment Police Station itself, the headquarters there, and then they took my report and everything. When I played the audio to even the police with it, they were surprised. Everybody there was like, why? What would have warranted this? I said, well, wow, I didn't know. And I was told that this has been something that happens. They assault people, they beat people everywhere. You talk small, no, they intimidate you and they slap you and beat you. But they've been dealing with the vulnerable and people who don't have voices or people who will not be able to challenge.
Let's focus on what happened to you, Godwin.
Anyway, I'm done. I'm just letting you know the feedback I got from people.
I understand. Thank you. But I'm actually, also quite surprised by this story. So tell us, how has this ordeal, how has it affected you?
I'm not normal this morning, to be honest, and very unusual because I'm a very, very bold and confident person. But I can tell you this has taken me by surprise because even in the hospital, the doctor told me clearly that I need to see a psychiatrist. In fact, he wrote it in the report that I need to see a psychiatrist, that he can see that although there is no bodily physical harm on my body, he can examine. He can tell that I am not myself, that the questions he's asking me and answers I'm giving, I'm very petrified. He will advise that they will refer me to a psychiatrist. That was the report he wrote. So I'm not myself, actually, to be honest.
So you reported this to the police.
Yes.
What do you intend to do next?
I'm suing, big time. I'm going to sue. It is time for anybody who has money or power, who believe that they're all arrogated power and arrogance, to know that law works in this country. There is law in this country. There are people in prison because they broke the law. So if you think because you are famous or you have abilities or something, you beat people, well, one day you will meet somebody who will not also look at it from the position of servitude, that he will sit down there and you will molest him and beat him and he will swallow it and go home. No, there is law. And the fact that Balfour threw a challenge to me that I can go to any court, any police station, they can't do anything, that actually gave me more adrenaline to prove to them that the police force is still a good force. If you have a good case and you have solid evidence, you will get justice in this country. I'm convinced. This is why I went to the law school. I'm convinced that the law still works. Just make sure you are going to equity with clean hands and you have good evidence as basis to back up your case. Any court of competent jurisdiction will look into your case. The judges are good people and they will give you your judgment if you deserve it. So I'm suing, actually. I will sue tortious liability on civil case, and I will press for the police to also prosecute them criminally. I will fight this with my last blood. If it's the last thing I will do in Ghana before nobody will hear of me again, I'm ready.
Godwin Marte, CEO of WebSoft Solutions, narrating an ordeal that he has reported to the police regarding the Jan brothers, Asamoah and Bafo Jan, who he says assaulted him. He recorded a part of that exchange on his phone. Mr. Marte, thank you. Thank you for speaking to us this morning. Now, our very own George Addo Jr. joins us from the Joy Sports team. George, have you picked up anything by way of reaction from the Jans?
Yeah, we're yet to get reactions from the Jan, but I spoke to the camp of Jan, and they have confirmed it. They've confirmed that it did indeed happen. There were people around. So it will be important to know what they do about this. It will be important to know what the Jans are going to do about this. You see, there's just a slight problem when it comes to Jan, and probably why he feels he doesn't get the respect that he needs or the respect that he deserves for what he has done for Ghana, the Black Stars. Because there have been too many stories over the years around Jan when it comes to assaults. I was just looking and going through the few documented ones, not more than 5.
So there are at least 5 times on record.
Yes, on record.
That Asamoah Jan has been involved in cases of assault.
Yes. Even though some of the cases ended up with the people pulling out from courts, others did not even take it up. You can just go and do your Google search and do Asamoah Jan assaults or Jan Brothers assaults, and you see a lot of them. I don't even want to mention the names, but clearly there's an issue there. And that makes it difficult, that makes it very difficult. Some had said that, okay, well, even when these things were happening, like 2015, 2016, I remember, if you remember the Daniel Kenu one, the Daily Graphic journalist who was allegedly beaten, yes? You remember the captain of the Black Stars, John Mensah, begging Ghanaians on behalf of his colleague Asamoah Jan for the unfortunate incident that occurred, in the eastern region when a fan called Frank Giage, a carpenter, infuriated him, and then he had some slaps. You remember what happened at the Lisa Hotel as well, when a female article is a waitress, yes, was also slapped because she said some things. So it is just not good for the brand. I really want to hear what the Giants have to say about this, but it's not good for the brand given the history we have in Ghana. So it's a rather sad story for me if it's confirmed as true. But from where we are going, it's definitely true. We're just left to find out from the Giants what they think, why they got angry, why they did this to Godwin. Clearly, a beautiful game of tennis should not end that way. And these days, everybody's been talking about Samoa Gyan doing some good tennis, and there are a lot of guys who want to have a game with him. I see that happening on Twitter. Some journalists say, okay, I want to have a game with you. So a number of people want to have a game with Samoa Gyan. I'm rather surprised and sad that this will happen.
I mean, there is something slightly different about this incident, because the person who is at the center of it, the person who's the alleged victim here, Godwin Mate is the CEO of WebSoft Solutions.
Yes.
He's in law school.
Yes.
You can tell from the way
completed law school.
He's completed. There you go.
Yeah.
You can tell from the way he's even the words he's choosing that he intends to basically leverage the entire tenets of the law in this matter.
It's just not. It's just not good enough. So I'll be very happy if the Jan Camp can get to the Super Morning Show team. It will be really, really good.
Yeah, it's
to hear their side
of the story. To hear all sides.
Godwin has reported his side of the story.
Yeah,
we had confirmation that it did happen, but now why did the Giants do this? The only problem for it, and it's not like we're in a public court, of law at the moment, but the issue is that when you have a record like this, it makes it very, very difficult, and it doesn't really, really go well for the brand. It's sad, Winston. This is not what you want to hear this morning, actually. You don't want, and he's got recordings. And you see, this is the thing. Even if you say it didn't happen, Godwin has got recordings of what happened.
Yeah. It's not looking good. All right. Look, we'll bring you more about this. This is an evolving story. Allegation that Samoa Gyan and his brother Bafour Gyan have assaulted Godwin Mate, CEO of WebSoft Solutions. He recorded an aspect of that exchange, and we'll be bringing you more details on it. Right now, though, it's time for the BBC after these.
You want your business faster? Need to bank on a fast